Oh, man. Another day. Jamie Gonzalez.
Chad Stoker.
What up, brother? What's the deal, man?
Yeah.
What's the deal, dude?
Just trying to keep it moving, you know?
Yeah, bro. Me too, man. Well, welcome, everybody. It's another day. Born Detailer podcast, full effect.
Always.
Yeah, bro. We're out here. What's up, man? How you been, dude?
Chilling. Like I said, it's
Oh,
breaking
man.
shit.
Breaking shit. That's strong. That's called muscles, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta intimidate it. But hey, we're good. Let's just live and uncut, bro. We
That's
got
what
it.
happens when you fuck around with shit right before you start
dude.
the podcast.
Yeah, dude. Still.
Yep.
But yeah, man. So what's up?
Chilling, man.
Everything good?
Trying to keep
Good?
it moving, man.
Dude,
you
I
know?
had the coolest thing I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to see what your thoughts were on this, and I watched a YouTuber. What video was it? He's a famous dude. Oscar, the dude. Anyways, he was talking about
From Groove?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he was
All right.
talking about on his. Let me see. I have it in my notes. I thought it was a cool thing. So, what's the most overrated advice as a detailer's advice
The most.
or process too? Like, what's an overrated process? What do you think? Like, that doesn't really matter, but it matters, but it doesn't really. You know what I mean? Like, or a product?
Man, I feel like we talk about it a lot, but paint correction. Paint correction, there's no.
What about like doing it? Like for me, I feel like I was talking to like I watch a lot of these videos and they always talk about doing these small sections, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's overrated. Like because most people, I guess if you're extremely beginner, then yeah, you want to go ahead and do, like a 2 feet by 2 feet or a one, like area, so you can get proper coverage.
Yeah.
But how much does that really matter?
In most cases, here's the thing: is it matters if the product. It's all dependent on the product you're working with. You know what I mean? Like I agree. In most cases, the 2x2 is overrated unless you're working with a short cycle product. If your product like the Rupes stuff, it's short cycle. If you do a bigger section than that, you'll actually have a reduced result. I think.
So you'd have a reduced result because of the solvents, off gassing and stuff like that. So
yeah.
why would you have a? Because for me, I never do. I guess I don't do like a whole side, but I'll do a full panel.
Yeah.
And then I'll use water to reactivate.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters, but
No.
for me, I feel like it matters. But I don't know, like chemically, if it matters.
No, I mean you can actually increase the cut and increase the finish with hydro boosting, but it does.
Boost.
So here's kind of the catch-22 to this whole scenario is the technology of the compounds and polishes has improved drastically, but the problem with that is they all have their different parameters, right? Their working times are different. Their reapplication times, there's so many different.
I'm not talking about doing mobile either.
Right,
Like
no.
this is not a mobile thing. Like if you're doing mobile, you should do small areas.
Yeah.
I'm talking about shop live. Okay,
Control the
just to clarify
environment,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Control that, but that's the thing is, in the olden days, everything was kind of worked different. It was a diminishing abrasive, or it wasn't. They all had kind of the same working times. Everything was kind of the same, right, for the most part. But things have changed so much that you have compounds and polishes that have specific working times, meaning you need to work this 90 seconds to get it to break down, but you can't work it more than
Otherwise,
120.
you're just not really using it.
Right. You're just using it as a straight cutter. So you're if it's a diminishing abrasive, you're missing out on the polishing effect of the finishing effect of it.
So you need to break down those abrasives to get to the polishing stage.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them are diminishing, some of them are not. Some products are not diminishing. So there's cutters out there, coarse products that are not
Just
diminishing. They're just coarse, but they break down. It's because of the technology. Rupes, it's not a diminishing abrasive, but it cuts and finishes in the same process.
Dude, the most gangster cut stuff that really works good, especially if you're doing like gel coat, is Melco Tri-Grit.
True Grit?
True Grit.
Yeah.
True Grit. Bro,
Yeah,
that
True
stuff's
Grit. Yeah.
gangster, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, it's good stuff, though.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Super duty,
But
too.
yeah, so dude, I was just kind of looking at this and I was like, you know what? What is? I think that's for me. I think doing, obviously test spots, you want to do that. But like once you get it and once you know where you're going, the end result is like, all right, let's go to town. Let's get the job done. Like we were talking about, like you should be able to do a one step like in, an hour, 45 minutes or something. We were just talking about that the other day. It's like, that's how you can do that.
Yeah. And
You
that's
can't do that if you're doing 2x2 panels, bro. It's gonna be like
you can.
but it's gonna take you.
Well, I mean, if
At
you
least
do
in efficiency wise.
if you use it right. So if you have a short cycle product, that means 45 seconds is about the ideal working time. So you can do smaller sections because you're only doing 2 passes. That's the beauty.
Yeah, but don't you think when you put it on, you're gonna so you do that one section. So you have your section, you do it, boom, boom, boom. You set your shit down, you gotta wipe.
Right.
So like that's a good experience. Like how many times, how much wiping, turning off your machine, getting in rhythm, because rhythm in polishing is everything. So
For
like
sure.
you reach that rhythm, I feel like polishing that small of an area, to me, I guess it'd be the severity of the pain.
Right.
So yeah, you're right.
But
Okay, never mind.
So look at it this way. So if you have, I'll use this. So if you're working small sections, okay, and you have to wipe more, but you're only doing 2 passes on each one of them, but you're wiping more, or you're working bigger sections, okay, you have to wipe less, but you have to do 4 to 6 passes, but you're getting the same result either way. Which one's faster? They should actually work out to be about the same.
I just calculate my stopping time my reset time. I feel like for me to set, I'll wipe it, because every time I polish, I'll wipe and then I'll look. And then that's just gonna add like another 30 seconds of watching or looking and
admiring your work.
Yeah. So like that for me it would. But anyway, so that was the thing. So that was number 1 for me. And then number 2 is something that you can do, and I was agreeing with this dude with it, was not having to use iron remover.
Not having to use iron remover.
Yeah, not using the color changing. You probably need like an acid. You need something to break it down. But I guess as a enthusiast, that like you need iron removers is awesome. But as a pro,
yeah. So no, I mean if you're claying, you don't need to, unless it's super super severe. So if you're trying to go to the extreme, then you do.
How much would you
both.
take off if you don't? So if say you're using Rupes course, right? And you're using a heavy pad Rupes course, and you're like, man, I'm not gonna clay this because I know how deep I'm gonna go. But still, polishing doesn't get off those fine.
Yeah.
They're still not gonna get it out. You have to clay.
You have to. You're gonna remove those contaminants one of 2 ways. You're gonna remove it with your decon step, either your clay or your iron remover or both, whatever it is, or you're gonna remove it during the polishing step. If you remove it during the polishing step, you have 2 things working against you. Number 1, your first few passes aren't gonna do anything because that contaminant is standing in the way, so you have to break it free. So you're losing time there. You think, I'm saving time because I'm not claying, but your first 2 passes aren't gonna do shit because you're riding on those contaminants. But then, where are those contaminants going? If you're removing with your clay, you're removing them off the vehicle. If you're removing them with your polishing pad, your cutting pad, they are in your pad.
Yeah, and that's right off the bat. Like you do a few passes.
Yep.
After you did it, and if your pad turns a color, you probably didn't clay right.
Yeah.
You didn't. That's a dirty pad. So you got. So what do you think? You think that's a pretty good one?
Yeah, for
Number
sure.
2?
Yeah.
Tell me. I think you're gonna love this. My number 3. What I think too. I want to hear your opinion. Snow foam, bro. That's the number. That should be number 1.
That's probably
That's
number
number
1.
one.
That's number 1.
You don't need that.
You don't.
It's awesome though.
If you want to do a cool video, then use snow foam. If not, it is one of the most unproductive things to do because you're not gaining anything. People think the thicker the foam, the better the cleaning, but that's not the case. Your pH neutral body wash is designed to emulsify, so break up the dirt and start to pull it off the surface. If your soap is sitting there, all the dirt is sitting there too. So when you go and take your wash media, all you're doing is smearing that dirt around. That's a great way to create scratches. So snow foams, I absolutely, even ones that kind of break, if the thicker they are, the less effective they are.
So all you're doing is making a cool picture.
And you're taking, bro,
and then you have to add so much time on the rinse.
So much time. The shit gets everywhere, gets in every crack and crevice. You're rinsing it out.
Dude,
people don't realize how much time they waste rinsing the vehicle with that
I'm
stuff.
Just telling you, I wish we got. I don't have that sound, but this is the sound for
wonk, wonk.
I don't have that sound, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, snow foam.
Snow foam, man.
Oh man, dude. But yeah, so I think that the top 3 would be for me polish or small section polishing, iron remover, and snow foam.
Snow foam for me, number 1. Number 2 is going to be foam in general.
Just foam in
Foam
general.
in general.
You just don't need it.
Half the vehicles, unless you're dealing with nothing but shit dirt vehicles, a rinseless wash really refine and perfect your rinseless process. Any maintenance wash, unless they ran it through the goddamn backcountry, you should be able to do a rinseless on that. People think that it doesn't clean as well, but the cleaning capability of a good rinseless and a foam.
We foam all our rinses though, just because we do it.
Yeah.
Like, not because we don't. We just like it, I guess. I don't know.
It's satisfying.
Yeah, I have a rinseless, but mainly what I like the foam gun for is just to get everything on. Like it looks like, oh yeah, cool, you're good coverage, boom, and then you go. But it's a mess and it takes longer, and it just adds so much more pressure washing, dude.
Maintenance, and especially if you're a mobile guy doing maintenance, if you're foaming, you are pissing away at least 30 minutes a time. You could fit another vehicle in every day if you just went away from that. It's just in the applications where it is. So here's a common misconception about rinseless. People think rinseless means you can't put water on the vehicle. No, man. If my truck is really dirty, or if I'm doing a really dirty vehicle, I will pre-rinse out pressure washing, get the heavy stuff
pre-rinse
off.
That's probably the least. That's like the most crucial part of detailing.
Yeah,
is the pre-rinse.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Yeah, knock a ton of it off. One of the cool things that I saw when we were out in California with Dustin at OCD is he used a rinseless as his pre-wash, not a pre-foam, but he'd hit it with rinseless, then he would rinse it, and then he would reapply the rinseless. So he would emulsify a lot of that dirt and take it off safely, right? Because that's the downside to pre-rinsing without foaming first, is that heavy dirt can run across the surface and scratch it. It's not that big of a deal, but if you're really looking to negate the scratches, then you can do something like that. But I thought that was really cool. So he pre-soaked it with a rinseless, rinsed it, and then did another rinseless and used his wash media.
That's
so
dope. Yeah,
dope for sure.
That guy has it down, bro.
Yeah,
he has it
smart
crazy
dude.
down. So what do you think? So did I do pretty good?
I thought, yeah.
I know you have. What do you feel like the worst advice?
The worst, gosh, man.
Just as detailing, it could be business too. Let's do business or, yeah. So what do you think? Just the worst advice you can tell going into someone that's gonna detail their car, or someone, or trying to get in, maybe even starting a business. The worst advice you've ever heard. What's the worst advice you've ever heard someone tell somebody?
Do the most, bro. People like, especially on the internet, everyone's like, they're looking for the wow factor of like, oh, I made the cleanest vehicle and I got the most scratches out. But like, I say this all the time, but let your customer decide. Don't decide for your customer what they want. Let your customer decide. Give them options. Okay. Have packages, but have add-ons, but give them options. Hey, do you want this or do you want this? Oh, I want this. If they pick this and they come out and they got this, they're not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. I chose the wrong thing. They're just not. So have options. Sell in levels and not steps. I hate selling in steps. I'm gonna do a 1-step correction, a 2-step correction. You want my 3-step? You want my 7-step? You want my 9-step? No. Sell in levels. 70% defect removal, 80% defect removal, 90% defect removal.
Bro, dude.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Let the customer decide.
Bro. That's it.
As detailers, we think that we know what's best, but what's best for us may not be what's best for the customer. Let them decide. You're gonna take a lot of work off of your plate that you're not gonna get paid for it anyway. And then again, you're creating less chance of the customer bitching and complaining if they chose that. If you have excessive dog hair and you say, hey, this is beyond normal. If you want all this dog hair, you're gonna have to pay me extra for that. Oh, I don't want that. Just do the normal. Okay, if there's a little dog hair, you're good.
Communication's key though.
That's
right.
It.
Communication. Let them. People like you too. Mm-hmm. I guess if you communicate on, you don't really have face-to-face interaction. But when you get there and you're happy, you're smiling. What's up, man? Life is good. Blah 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 blah. All this stuff. Let's do this. Blah blah blah. You're selling yourself. Brand yourself.
Yeah. So that's a good one. One of the worst things I've ever heard is don't overcomplicate it. Don't talk about your processes too much to your customer. You don't have to go in and tell them, hey, my pH is my this, that, and the other. But say, hey, look, these are my options. These are what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I'm capable of doing. Communicate to an extent that they can make a proper decision.
They have questions, and then that's time for you to answer.
Yeah.
But people want to just get the job done. A lot of people are like, dude, just get this done, bro. Like, get it done.
But if you get it done, if you do that, if it's just about getting it done now, eventually that's going to catch up to you. If you spend a little, just like with the test spot, if you spend a few minutes doing your test spot, it'll save you hours. If you do a little bit of time creating like an outline of what your conversation looks like. Hey, Mr. Customer, do you want this or this? Do you want this or this? Know how that conversation is going to go, a funnel, how to walk them through from the first conversation to the sell, right? Spend a little time dialing that out, and it'll save you, not only save you time, but it'll get you more customers to lock down and use your service. Preparation, communicate. That's it, man. Communication is
everything. Shad, bro.
With your customers, with yourself, communicate with yourself.
Yeah, dude.
That's right.
More Detailer Podcast, baby. Jamie Gonzalez.
I'm Shad Stoker.
Thank you guys. Comment. Let us know. Let's talk, man. Peace out. Everyone have a great day. Peace.